Oh, what the fuck? That's creepy. What is this, Resident Evil 4, where the eyeball comes out of the mouth? I'm smart. That is fucking creepy. Hands down the creepiest thing in this game. By far.
It's because you don't understand humans.
Oh, the Matrix. Why is that always like, I'm glad this thing isn't in 3D. Walk off like a badass, Zach. Walk off like a badass. And not even turning around either. Imagine if one of the chunks hit him. Oh, damn.
Emily, York tries not to show it, but he's pretty shy. Don't wait for him to propose. Just ask him to marry.
That was badass. I think there's one more, and I'm probably gonna do that right now just to see what it is.
Previously during the investigation, York, the other me, my other personality. There are some things in this world that must be extracted, no matter.
York, I'm sorry,
Why can you cause me pain? Red tree!
York and Zach. Finally, I understand. You two really are best friends. I'm a little jealous.
I'm sure he'll make you very happy.
Are you leaving today?
Maybe.
Zach, that story I told you the other day, did you believe any of it?
The fact of the matter is that I couldn't save Emily. So it really doesn't matter whether I believe you.
I'm very sorry about her. There's something mysterious about that picture. There's a calming beauty to it, and yet it exudes sadness.
Harry, I have a few questions for you.
About what, Zach?
Your last name isn't really Stewart, is it?
No, that is correct. It's really Woodman. Harry Woodman. George was my son.
You were there in the White Room when I was there. Why?
The same reason as your father. Long, long ago, I too was unable to shoot my wife. What's worse is that I was also unable to kill myself. Which is why I lost both. The woman I loved and my son. My wife suffered from a mental illness, but I still loved her. I wanted to save George too, if I could. Everything was my fault. If only I had the courage to make the right decision, Emily and the other girls would not have died. But you have put an end to all of that.
I wonder if they are happy.
Zach, no need to worry about that. Your couple died, Emily. The other
Thomas's biscuit. Sounds so nasty.
Hey, Michael. Mind stopping the car for a moment?
Very well, Mr. Francis Zach Morgan.
I heard you leaving.
Uh-huh. That's right.
It's a shame about Emily, and the other girls too.
How are Isaac and Isaiah?
Oh, they're fine. They still don't think the girls are dead.
Give it to him yourself. He's right next to you.
Oh, okay. I understand. We'll do it for you.
Emily kind of told us to give this to you.
Emily said it's a present for Zach.
Thank you. Where did you get this?
Emily asked us to give it to you. See? She's over there.
There's another Zach there too. You're twins, just like us.
Emily couldn't give it to you herself. She said she's too embarrassed. So, she asked us to hand it to you.
Emily really likes Zach.
Anyways, you two. Be nice to the girls, okay? And they'll be nice to you.
We don't like girls.
Girls are boring.
Gotta love them. Just full of energy.
was for them. He wanted Isaac and Isaiah to find her.
Mr. Francis Zach Morgan, if you are finished, if you are, please, let us return to the car.
No need for that. You can go home. I want to take a look around more.
Very well, then. I'm sure Mr. Stewart will approve of that.
Ah, thank you, Michael.
Okay. I have no idea what to do. I guess we just go to that thing over there. See where that leads us to. I don't know if there's gonna be credits or something. That's usually the way you can tell it ends. Credits. But so far, I give this game like out of a 10 or 1,000, I guess. It lagged. I give it a 5 or a 4. Why are those trees so bright? And here we go. Yep. Welcome to the hotel.
York, tonight I'm going to sleep like a baby. Polly, what's that picture?
Oh, that. We took it when the clock tower was built.
50 years ago?
That's right. That's me in the middle. I was pretty popular back then. Men were always around me. Sorry to keep you waiting. Just sign here, please. Mr. Morgan? Mr. Morgan!
Oh, I'm sorry, Polly. I was just thinking of a friend. Someone who was with me for a long, long time.
He must have been a really good friend then. Otherwise, why else would you remember him at a time like this?
Indeed. We used to fight, but he really was a good person. He's gone now, though. Gone away to a place where we can't meet again.
I'm sorry to hear that. But if he's a friend of yours, I'm sure he's getting on just fine.
Thank you, Polly. You know what? I think so, too.
is Deadly Premonitions. Premonition. No S. No S. The game, I think I already told you this, but I might edit it out, but I give it maybe a 5 out of 10, maybe a 6, 5.5, let's do that, 5.7, 5.7, that sounds better. It's an average game when it comes to gameplay and all that. Gameplay was horrible. The fact that it was pretty long is good, but the fact that they also had really poor enemy choices. And you have to drive around so much. That I didn't like that too much. It was a really good game though when it came to the storyline. Really good game, and I'm not too sure about the characters. Some of them were good, some of them were eh. But I do like the is it called foreshadowing? There was a lot of foreshadows. I like the story. It made you think one thing, and then it altered it just a little bit, and then all of a sudden it was like, oh no, it was this guy over here, the fat ass, and then you're like, nah, it was Emily. Nah, wait, George? You know, talk about Twin Peaks, right? So, and I think that's what this game was pretty much based off of, Twin Peaks. That TV show that was a huge hit after the first season, and once they found out who the criminal was, it kind of went downhill. I do like the design of the enemies, George and Kaysen in the end. I liked it because throughout the whole entire game there was basically 3 generic enemies. And that big ass dog, I have a feeling if they do make a part 2, which I'm kind of hoping that they do, I really do want them to make a part 2. I know I said no in the other one, but I really do want them to make a part 2. Just because I know how good it could be. I know how good they can make it. They have the ability to make a good game. With all the choices that are coming out now, don't make it a shoot 'em up. Don't make it a shoot 'em up. Make it a survival horror. Make it something that has a good story. Make it to a point where the enemies aren't too generic. But also change up the enemies. Don't just make them humans. Make them something that it's hard to explain. But you gotta try and make them. You gotta make them look human, I think, but also have that part of they can be animals. You know. I do like the whole gas thing in the story, but. You know, I am gonna show the credits. I don't know if I'm gonna talk through it all, so I probably will. In part 2, if they make it, I know they're making a director's cut, which I might buy just to support for them to make a part 2, but I'm still not sure. A lot of Meowie. That's the guy's name, Meowie. What they really need to do is they need I don't know what they're gonna do. I don't think they can make a part 2. Not with York, or well, you know, Zack and York. They can't do that with Zack and York. But there is the possibility that they can bring it. You know, if I don't know if you heard when Kaysen said that we're part of the red tree of whatever. You know, that kind of indicated that there is more of him. So you never know. And the dog has been around Kaysen for so long, the dog might be a part of it as well, so you don't know. I know I don't know. Jeff Kramer. You know, hopefully they do good. They bring them back. They bring a part 2. And I'm looking forward to it. Somewhere else, somewhere with unique characters, something that doesn't deal with the same story though. Because I think a lot of people are going to be tempted to bring back the Red Seeds, and I don't think that would work. I'm trying to think. It's like if Resident Evil were to bring back zombies, you know, the T-virus, after being found out how to stop it or all that, it just wouldn't work, you know? It's like it's been there, done that. We gotta bring in something else. That is what you need to do. You need to bring in something else, and that's... I don't know how they can do it. I really don't. I really don't. I can't think of a story right now to make it work. I really thought this story was just about a killer, but for finding out that seeds and all that, you can't do another historical one, that's for sure. But you know what they can do? They can set it up the way that I thought this one was gonna be, just a killer killing people. But there has to be a reason behind it. And this one was basically Emily at first. So, let's hope they make a part 2. Because I know it'd be good if they put time into the story. If they put time into gameplay. That thing looks like a little sperm. Look at it. Digital Media Lab. Where they make sperms. What does that say? Liam's? I didn't know Qui-Gon Jinn made these games. Shaft! He's a bad. Shut your mouth. What type of design is that? FK in the coffee. So from the very beginning, the answer was right there. Those are the ones that I like, where they give the answer right in front of your face, but it's really nothing to think of at the time. I kind of slowed down on that last part. Thank you for playing. Well, I enjoyed it, sir, or ma'am, or computer. Why is it still going up? Just stop right there. Stop right there. Stop going up. The end. Oh, okay. You have to emphasize that. All right. Okay, that stopped right there. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I really do. I worked my ass off editing this. Is that it? Is it gonna stay like that forever? I guess it is. It's been like almost a minute. This is a Twin Peaks reference. I think that was a Twin Peaks reference, I think. Because I know every TV show that does like a Twin Peaks reference always has an ending where they're in a cafe and there's like these weird things going on in there. So I don't know if it was or not. I've never seen Twin Peaks, so